Welcome to Be the Voice podcast, brought to you by Voices Magazine, where we are using our voices to shatter the silence. It's time to be informed, encouraged, and empowered with your favorite host, Dee Marie.
Welcome to Be the Voice podcast. This is your host, Dee Marie. And today is a very special day. As I always say, I'm so excited, but I really am today. As you can see, I'm having a new background here. I have a very special guest here today. But before I introduce her, I want to let you know that Be the Voice podcast is actually brought to you by Voices Magazine. And Voices Magazine is a magazine tailored to the voices of sexual abuse survivors. And we have Counselors Corner, Healthy Living, spotlight organizations that are doing the work to help the community, tips and safety. And we also have sections where we have contributors either for fashion and beauty, or whatever they want to write about. And actually our guest today, Tiffany Dorsey, who is the owner of Sugar Couture. I always make sure, do I say that right?
Sugars
Couture Boutique. And she was actually one of our contributors, and her article was so awesome. And I just wanted to invite her on the podcast so we can have some girl talk tonight. So I want you guys to come in and just listen. She is just a phenomenal woman, and I just had to bring her here. So welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
And I'm excited because we are in her boutique. We are in Sugar's Couture. So I thought this would be a great spot to interview her, and we can talk about her personally, her business, and just some great things that I love about her. And I told her, I said, everybody loves you because she's just an awesome lady. So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? And
let's see. So I'm Tiffany Dorsey, owner of Sugar's Couture Boutique, as she just said. And I am married. I have a stepson who lives in Canada with his wife and soon to be son. Let's see. I am 5 of 8 girls.
Wow.
5 of 8. Mom is still kicking it. Dad is still kicking it. But I'm happy to be here today, and I'm excited to be able to share with you and the audience just my life experiences.
Yes. So when I asked her to write the article in the magazine, it was I think it was a fashion section, and the piece that she wrote was just so awesome. She talked about just some things that she had went through to get to the point of where she is today, even personally. So I kind of want to start with that. And the reason why I brought you on here is because I think you are an inspiration to other women.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because a lot of times we have, some insecurities, or as women, I think we just have that anyway, because we got to be this woman, that Beyonce, or, we
absolutely.
see that all the time.
Yeah.
And we're not free to talk about the true things that we're feeling.
Yeah.
And as you all know, Be the Voice podcast, we are here to shatter the silence. So we want to shatter the silence on any type of insecurities as women that we go through, so that, as we continue to move on in our lives and, start different things that we want to do, our purpose, all of that, we want to kind of break some of those things up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's, where do we start? Go ahead.
Well, first, I just want to thank you for sharing your story, your journey.
Thank you.
It is just a blessing to see you where you are.
Thank you.
And not being ashamed of what has transpired in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you are the inspiration.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Just sharing this story because women need to know that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to share those trials, those tribulations, because you never know whose life you're going to save.
Know. That's exactly
and I'm sure
right.
with Voices Magazine that you've saved many lives. I've seen the magazine. I've read some of the articles. And the people that you've included in their magazine have been amazing. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's not always easy, but definitely doable.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So today, Tiffany, we want to talk a little bit about just some things that and I'm gonna say this, so because I said earlier before we started the podcast, we talked about even being young and being this woman that you got to be just on point with everything. And and growing up, I was a tiny girl. I was like skinny, and now that is not where I am. And so I'm trying to embrace where I am, still trying to get back healthier where I want to be, but embracing this woman that I am. Because sometimes it's not easy.
It's not.
Because that pandemic, honey, I was like The refrigerator was right there, and the sister.
Listen, we all had pandemic pounds. I had them, several.
But just talk a little bit about like kind of where you have come from, even from as young, and then where you are for now.
So as a child, I was always the heavier one in the family, or as we called it back then, the fat one in the family.
Right.
And it took a while for me to take off those layers, right? Because that's what it is. It's layers of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it took work. It took work, and it did not happen overnight. People want immediate, relief from everything, and it's not an overnight process. It's years of working to get those layers off, removing those layers. So again, I was always the heavier one in the family, and people made it known that I was. And it wasn't until I saw a picture of me, when I was going through some pictures, I saw this picture of me, and I was like, why do I always wear these dark clothes, just layered? Okay. And I realized then, I was like, I'm masking so many things that I feel about me, so many things that I've heard other people say. The worst thing you can do to somebody is call out something when they're feeling good. Okay. So, and I'll give an example. One day I was getting ready to go out with, to a party with a guy, and I won't say who, but this person said, and you're picking up too much weight. You're really, really fat right now. And I was like, well, damn, that just kind of, that really does something to anybody that, is already feeling some kind of way about themselves. But all of that is stuff that I was masking with those pieces, layers of clothing.
And I want to say something too, because that's interesting you said that, because so I go to Transformation Church online. So but the message Sunday was, he talked about being cuffed to contamination, which means that there's like people in your life that will subtly say little, those little slick comments, those little side,
absolutely,
and it's like, it's almost like the time that you're feeling good, but they got to throw a jab in there to kind of bring you back, to bring you down,
that's what people do. And sometimes I don't know if people even realize that that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
And then sometimes people do know what they're doing, right? But all of that happened, even with relationships, to maintain relationships, friendships, sisterships, you tend to sweep stuff under the rug. That's all the stuff that you carry, and you don't realize that you're carrying all of that. But when I saw that picture, I started to cry, because I was like, I got to do some work on me. I have to realize that this is who I am. I have to first love me in its entirety. Big or small, short, tall, whatever it is, I have to love me 100%. And that's when it started. I really started to do the work, because honestly, when you're a child that with trauma, you grow up to be an adult with trauma if you do not do the work.
Ooh, that's true.
And we see that every day. We see it every single day. And so that's how the work got started with Tiffany. I started to work out. First of all, I started to eat a little bit better. And then I started to dress in brighter clothing. I still love black. That is my color. But I started to wear color. Okay? Because because we're thick girls, we always feel like, oh, I can't wear orange, or I can't wear yellow, I can't wear light blue. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can wear it. Okay? I believe it makes you feel, it's like a power color for me. When I would go on interviews, I would wear a black suit, but I always had a power color shirt on, pinks, purple, something to give me the power. And that's just how I felt. But doing the work, You have to get into this space where you have to be honest first with
Yeah.
yourself.
Girl, come on.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And a lot of people are not willing to be honest with self.
Mm.
And this, again, did not happen overnight. This took
Right.
years for me to get to this point of freedom.
That's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
And I would say freedom 100% maybe 5 years ago, where I had to rid myself of caring about what other people said, caring about, what other people thought about decisions that I made for me, just caring about anything that anybody else said.
Right.
I had to do the work to love me. And then I had to forgive not only those other people,
Okay.
but you got to forgive yourself.
You got to forgive yourself.
You got to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that until you are at that place. And you have to kind of be in a dark place.
Yeah.
To really say, it's time for me to get out and get some light.
Right.
Okay. So I'm 50, just turned 50 in August.
Girl,
and
okay.
Honey, I am as free.
No, y'all don't understand her pictures at 50.
Listen, I went all in because I wanted
I wish we had something here so y'all could see. Girl, them pictures was all of that.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I have to do. I'll be 50 in 24, and I'm like, I have to do that.
You have to. When I tell you, I had a vision, but the lady that I went to, Michelle L. Artist, and guys, go see her. Yes. I told her what I wanted. This is what I want. Bring it to life. And she did. I brought the pieces, and when I say she just brought everything to life for me, it was showing that the work is done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those pictures. Ooh, they were.
Thank
and then
you.
Your caption was husband approved.
Husband approved. That means don't open your mouth.
Well, I know that's right. I know that's right.
As long as my husband was okay, I was okay.
Yeah.
So freedom.
Yeah.
From healing.
Yeah.
From
and like
everything.
You said, loving yourself.
Loving
who you are.
Yeah.
And I guess a few years ago, this guy told me that he said confidence is sexy.
Confidence is so sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you walk in a room, and I tell people that when they come into the boutique to try clothes on, if you walking like, I don't know about this, that's going to show.
Yes,
okay?
It is. Yeah.
Go take it off because we don't have time for that. But if you are walking like, I'm owning this, people are going to see that.
They're going to see that.
They are going to see how you exude confidence, right?
Yeah.
So people see that when you walk into a room. They can see if you're timid. A lot of people always think when they first meet me that I'm very arrogant, but I'm not. I am just so free-hearted. Nah, I can be very serious until I get to know you.
Right.
Because I just have to, I'm very observing. So I have to get to know you first. But I feel like we need to own wherever we go.
I know that's right. Look,
own it. You gotta
own it.
Yeah. You have to own every bit of who you are. And if you don't like who you are, not other people not liking you, but if you don't like who you are, then do something about it.
Do some. I know that's right.
That's it. That's it, and that's all.
That is.
That's it.
Yes.
So,
and it's funny you said that about the color too, because growing up as being dark skinned, color. Even my mom, that's too bright. She don't like bright colors. So I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't wear it because it's too bright. And then a friend of mine, Kendra Hughes, has a makeup line, and she had bright colors lipstick, Cos by Kendra. And so I started wearing them, and I was like, I can wear color.
I was like, girl, I'm outside.
Like I am outside. I'm outside.
Yes.
But you do have to start exuding that confidence.
You do. You do. Yeah. And again, because that people see that when you walk into a room. If you're walking in you're sitting there with shoulders hunched, and people are gonna say, "Oh, she's a little timid." You don't know what opportunities can arise
that
from that.
Timid energy is like pushes off on people, so they kind of treat you that way.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
so own every ounce of you.
So when you got to that point where you were like, or I guess where you get to the point like, this is who I am and I love it. Like, how did you feel, or how did you get there?
Again, doing the work. I had to dig deep. You really have to go to that dark space and say, okay, why do I feel like this?
Right.
And a lot of it is because we've allowed other people to say things, to do things, to treat us any kind of way. We've allowed those things to happen.
Yeah.
And for me, I love people, I love family, I love friends, and sometimes we sweep stuff under the rug. Even though we know it, we
Mm-hmm.
sweep it under the rug to maintain the friendship, to
Yeah.
maintain the love. Oh,
That's
I don't want
good.
to start any problems.
Mm-hmm.
But that is that fair to you?
No, it's
It is
not.
not. It is not fair to you to be
Mm-mm.
treated any other way than a good way,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so even for me, when I really realized how toxic people were, and
Mm-hmm.
this maybe started about 5 years ago with people in my own family,
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of pull away. I had
Yeah.
to separate self just to work on me,
Yeah.
and
And that's okay, because I think sometimes, like you said, we have that loyalty,
yes,
and
that's
we,
a perfect word.
yeah, and we feel like, well, I can't, pull away. But if that person is not doing anything to better you or help you,
Yeah,
then yeah,
yeah.
you got to pull away.
And we have to rid ourselves of the idea that, well, that's my cousin, that's my mama, that's my daddy, that's my sister, that's my brother. That's just who they are. No, it's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
And we need to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
And then we need to hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but I will say, once I separated myself and just started to work on me, beautiful things started to happen. I mean,
Mm.
honestly, just this new, confident, secure, just beautiful things began to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed that. I
Yeah.
needed to do that work. Um, Relationships are better
Mm-hmm.
and some are not.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly okay
Okay.
with that.
And that's how it should be,
Yes.
because and I know there's people who are listening and watching
Yeah.
that have dealt with these
Yeah.
situations like that, and don't know how to uh rid of those people, let alone heal them, go through
Yeah.
that healing journey,
And
because it's
it's
a journey.
hard.
Yeah, it is
Like
hard.
it's hard to say, you know what, I just can't do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that point, like you find it hard to allow yourself to be in a room where you have to abandon yourself
That's
to
good.
make somebody else feel good.
Ooh,
Like that doesn't work for me
I
anymore.
know that's right.
So if I don't feel well in that space, I'll see you all later. And I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I'm at it is what it is. That's where I'm at in my life right now.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
good.
where it is.
Yeah, that's
You know,
good.
if I cannot abandon myself anymore for
I know.
anybody,
I know
for
that's right.
anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I encourage women to know your worth and then add tax on that thing.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So even with the boutique, and I know you guys can't see the clothes, but it's beautiful. And so when the women come in, and I've come in before, and
Mhm.
just, to me, just your personality, and just it's like you're excited when every woman comes
Mhm.
in. So how do you help them, or how do you, if you see that they're a little timid,
Mhm.
do you kind of help them with that confidence a little bit?
I do. So sometimes people, I don't push people though,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's important.
yeah.
But what I do is I'll tell them, okay, we're gonna do baby steps. Baby steps. I'm gonna let you do it this time, but next time I got the door, I got the floor, and I'm gonna tell you what we gonna wear. So, but that you have to get people to trust you.
Yeah,
And one thing about me is I am not gonna send you out here looking any kind of way.
I
I
know
do
that's
not
right.
believe in that.
Right.
I had a customer to get mad at me one day. She wanted this pencil skirt that I had, and it wasn't flattering on her. And I told her, you know what? We're gonna have to find something else
Mm-hmm.
that looks right on you. That's something that's fit for your body type. And she
Right.
was like, "Oh no, I'm buying this skirt." I said, "No, ma'am, I cannot because it doesn't appeal to your body type."
Right. Right.
And she was a little upset, but she understood, and she came back and thanked me. She
Oh,
came back and thanked me
awesome.
for that
Yeah.
because I'm not here to just make money off of people.
Right.
Like this is a ministry for
Yes.
me. And I know,
Yes. Yes.
I didn't realize that in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
but it really is.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine made this statement last week, and it really has stuck with me. And she was like, "This is Sugar's Couture Boutique, the barbershop for women." And I
Oh,
was like,
yes. Yes,
"Yeah."
it
So,
is.
and when I tell you, I see this vision that that I asked for, and He actually showed me what this place was going to look like. Now I don't know what building this is, but I know it's coming.
I was just about to say, you need a bigger space.
Yes, I do. It's coming because we
Yeah.
need a room. We need a girls' room. You know, I want a
Yes.
space where people can just come. If you just having a bad day, just go back there, girl, get your glass of something,
I know
get you
that's
some
what.
cheese and crackers, go rock in a rocking chair, watch your little TV just to get away. And I
Yeah.
want that safe haven space
Yes.
for women.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's important. So many women come in here, Tiffany. I just came in here to see what you were doing because I knew you was gonna make me laugh about something. Don't have to buy anything, but they'll be in here 2 or 3 hours
Wow.
just to feel good.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted. So everything in this store that's chosen in this store, it was chosen by design. God said, when people come in, I want them to be happy. When they leave, I want them to be happy. So that's why we have the yellow. And this paint color is called cheerful. Because when you walk through this door, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
And when you leave, I want you to be happy.
Yes, yes. And as women, we need that.
We need that.
Because, you know, let's change that narrative that we can't get along and all of that. Because that's not true.
We can.
Yeah.
We can. But you have to fix you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You have to fix you, and we have to lower these expectations. Like, we have so many expectations of people.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to change too. I expect people to be people.
Yes.
And
because they're gonna people.
They're gonna be
people are gonna people.
Yeah. And people have a right to change their mind. You know, I used to be so hurt when, you know, something would happen where friends would kind of just, you know, leave. I used to be hurt behind that, but now I'm like, people got a right to change their mind about you.
Yes, yes.
And you have a right not to care about that.
Oh my goodness.
Move on.
Move on.
It is what it is.
And we still friends.
We still cool.
Yes.
We just cool on a different level.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Now, so I did want to ask, so when you started the boutique, now I'm sure that was a transition, or, you know.
It was
because you're a small business owner.
Yeah. So when I decided that I was going to do it, I promise you, I still work full time,
which I didn't know. I was like, what? I just thought this was it. So.
I still work full time. So I had just started my new job. Okay, just started this job, and I had been praying and asking God, Lord, I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I need my own business. I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And so God kept saying, you need to open up a boutique. And I was like, oh, okay. And I would tell people, yeah, I'm gonna open up a boutique, but never moved on it. Never. Okay. Was scared.
Yeah.
Because on one side, God saying, this is what you need to do. And here come the devil. Girl, ain't nobody gonna be buying nothing from you.
Girl,
ain't nobody like you that much. So you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at work one day, and God literally spoke to me and said, if you don't do this, I'm going to give it to somebody else.
Ooh, wee.
And I went home. This was in September 2015, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I went home and I told my husband, I was like, look, we got to get started on this business. And he was like, okay, baby, whatever you want to do, I'm going to support you. So I went home, did the research, got my business name, applied for my license, and secured my business name and everything. And about a week or so later, the registration came in the mail. And my husband was standing there. He was like, oh, so you for real? And I was like, yeah, we doing this.
Right.
And I promise you, it was like everything that happened after that, it was smooth sailing. Even challenges that we encountered, it was almost like God put somebody in place to say, girl, we got this anyway.
And it just took you to take that first step.
That's it. That's it. So 4 months later, I was like, our open date is going to be January 4th. And December, I started the business in my home, in my back bedroom.
Okay.
And so Florissant, I was in Florissant. Florissant had to come out, and everybody was telling me, oh, they are really hard to get a
Oh,
license
so you
from.
really had it in your house,
It was in
like
my
a
house. It
oh,
was
like a
just,
real
I
boutique.
turned my bedroom into the boutique. I had
Wow.
me some little racks and everything in there.
Right.
And it was tight. It was tight, honey. But we made it work. But the man came to view the place and everything, and from what everybody told me, it's going to be difficult to get a license for us, and it's really strict and blah blah blah. And he came in, he asked about the boutique. He said, "You got a website?" I said, "I absolutely do. You want to see it?" Pulled it up for him. He went and looked at the room, made sure everything was good. I promise it was about 5 minutes.
Wow.
And he came out and said, "I think you're going to do an amazing job. Good luck. Here's your license." And I was like, "That's
Yeah. I was
expecting you to be like,
Yeah.
you need to do this." None of that. None of that.
Wow.
So it was, even with I can't remember who it was, but I had to get some type of paperwork from the state. And whatever happened, they didn't receive my paperwork. The lady said, "I'm going to go ahead and send you this so you can go ahead and open January."
Wow.
So that's how I knew. I was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing, because
Yeah.
God got people on my
I
side
know that's
right
right.
here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So of course the first day was very nervous opening.
Yeah.
I got several online orders because it was at home, and I did not let everybody in my house.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
if you was
Mhm.
reaching out to come over, I had to look at your Facebook page, see what you was doing, who
I
you was
know.
hanging with.
I
Let me
know
see what
that's
you look
right.
like.
'Cause that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, she had people over.
No, ma'am. Very few would I
Okay.
let come over to the house.
Mhm.
So I would actually meet people to deliver their
Oh,
packages.
okay. Okay.
But it was scary. But I will tell anybody, jump out there afraid.
I know that's
Jump
right.
out there afraid,
Yeah.
because this has, even for me, it has been a beautiful blessing.
Mm.
You know, it's just been an amazing blessing for me. It
That's
really
awesome.
has.
Yeah.
And
And you're blessing so many people.
thank you.
You really are.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to hear that sometimes,
Yeah.
that, you know, we're out here doing the work, but are we really impacting
Yes.
lives?
Yes. And I will say, I think about that too, because it seems like there's so much work that needs to be
Mm-hmm.
done. And it's like, am I really doing it? You know, am I
Mm-hmm.
really helping anybody?
Mm-hmm.
But look, if no one told you, I'm here to tell you
Well,
that you
thank
are.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Because I love watching
appreciate
your
that.
lives. I mean, you just always, you know, in a great mood, positive, you
Mm-hmm.
know, happy, energetic, you know, and I
Yeah.
think that's just is good inspiration for other
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
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 And it's a choice. You know, we have a choice, right? To be happy or to be sad,
Yeah.
or to be angry, upset, or
Yeah.
whatever. And I make a choice, a conscious effort every day to be happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
things are not always peaches and cream,
Right.
you know, but my good outweighs the
I know
bad
that's right.
every
time.
single day, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
So I have to be just lighter for me,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just been a blessing. It's
That's
just been a
awesome. That's
blessing.
awesome.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to the ladies as far as who are trying to either overcome something or start a business or just start their own journey?
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
Do the work.
Yeah.
Do the work. If you're trying to overcome something, do the work. Dig deep, and then get real with self.
Mhm.
You know, you
Mhm.
have to get real with yourself. We are the cause of some of these issues too. Okay, so
Okay,
let's not
look,
leave self out.
tell the
Okay,
truth.
because I got my stuff.
Right.
Okay,
We all do.
and I own mine, and whatever is not mine, I give it back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna own my stuff, and I'm gonna give you yours.
Yeah.
But be honest with self. It's nothing wrong with saying self, and self gonna say, huh? But be honest
Yeah.
about some things that you've played, because we all play a part.
We do.
Right?
Yes.
And so that's the first thing that I would say. Be honest with you about you.
Yeah. Yep.
And then get honest about everything else, everybody else, things that have happened, things that have transpired, and Set boundaries.
Oh, that's good. Yes, that's
Set
very important.
boundaries.
Hmm.
That for me, that was probably the best thing I could have done for myself. Learning how to set boundaries and sticking to it.
And sticking to
Because
it.
we can set them, but if you don't stick to them, then what?
Yes.
Right? But yeah, digging deep. And if you want to open a business, do the research and then pray about it and make sure that that's what God is telling you to do.
Right.
Okay? Because sometimes people jump and it ain't
And
God
it ain't
telling you to do
right.
it.
And then you're like, well,
You-
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Right. Because did God tell you to do it?
Right.
So, pray and ask God, if is this what you have for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of people jump on the bandwagon because they want to make money.
Yes. Yes. But okay, and I'm with you on that because it really has to be something that is your assignment,
Yes.
a purpose.
Come on.
Because it will make you money.
Yeah.
But just think about the people that we have in front of us
Yeah.
that God is helping, because even with Sugar's Couture,
Mm-hmm.
there are a room full of women just
Yeah.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
Just need you and need everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
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 I love it.
I love it too. I love it too.
Yeah.
I love the boutique.
Thank you.
I just again, I'm just so glad that I was able to have you on the podcast to talk to the
Thank
women,
you.
because just your story and just things that you're doing now, I just think it's phenomenal.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. And you as well. You as well. So you keep doing the work too.
Yes, ma'am. Look,
You're
quitting is
a
not an option.
trailblazer.
Well,
So
thank
keep
you,
going.
thank you,
Keep
thank you.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because quitting is no option.
It's not an option.
Yeah,
It's not an
even
option.
when you think about it, it's like, mm.
I don't care how tired you get. It's
Because
not
there are
an
times,
option.
right? You just tired. Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay,
Mhm.
to listen to your body.
Yes,
You
and to take
need
some
to listen
rest.
to your
Yep.
body.
Yep.
And I had to do that a couple of weeks ago. I was just so tired one day, and I was like, I'm gonna close this store today
Mhm.
because I am beat down.
Yeah.
I was tired. I had been running all weekend, and we have this boutique. My husband has a t-shirt line, and then we do the 360 booth.
Awesome.
So we all over the place,
Okay. I didn't know
child.
you did a 360.
Yes,
What?
we all over the place.
Shut up.
We do it all.
I
Give me
love
another business. I'm doing that too.
I know. That is so me. Girl, you give me a business, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. But I want to go back to something that you just said.
Okay.
Assignments.
Yes.
Oh my God. That I used to be so drained taking on everybody else's stuff.
Mm-mm-mm.
And it wasn't until some things transpired that God had to show me, but did I tell you to help them? And I was like, oh, no. I was Captain Save a person. And God had to show me, everybody's not your assignment.
Everybody is not your assignment.
And you're not here to save everybody. If I tell you to save them, save them. But if I don't, send them to me.
Right. I know that's right.
And I had to learn that. I used to be so drained carrying other people's problems, because that's just what we do as women. We want to help everybody, make sure everybody's good. But I had to learn that that's not your job.
No, one thing I picked up from a friend of mine. Her name is Nicole Nichols. She said, I'll never forget this, years ago, and she said, I don't know what she was talking about, but all I heard her say was, I did not make that my problem. And when I say that, it was tattooed inside my brain, and when something come up and I know I can handle it, that I did not make that my problem. And it's not being insensitive. You just cannot take on everybody's problem.
You cannot.
Yeah.
And learning to say, oh, I used to have a hard time with the word no.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Yeah.
Not now.
Because no is a whole sentence.
No.
It's a whole sentence.
It is. I don't even give an explanation anymore.
Now see, that is good.
I used to
because
be no,
I think I
because
still, yes.
Now it's no.
And then they're just waiting for the explanation. You're like,
no. Okay. I'm telling you, this is where I needed to be.
Yeah.
Because I was always, again, trying to save everybody else all the time. And then sometimes you wonder, well, who's there for me?
Right.
When I need them. You know?
That's good.
And so, no, setting boundaries.
Yes.
and learning that everybody is not your assignment.
Yes.
It is literally going to save your life.
Save your life. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's going to save your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank
This was
you for
awesome.
having
Like I could
me.
talk all day. This was so awesome. And I know that this is going to bless somebody who's watching. So
I pray it does.
I appreciate it.
I
Now
pray
tell
it
them
does.
about Sugar Couture, how they can come here, how they can
Yes.
shop.
So Sugar's Couture Boutique, we actually cater to curvy women, as we are.
As we are.
And but we are we are now getting in pieces for our smaller beauties as well. But we are located at 5494 Brown Road, Suite 123, Hazelwood, Missouri 63042. Or you can shop online 24/7 at www.sugarscouture.com. We have Afterpay, we have Sezzle, and we have ShopPay. So, honey, you can split those payments up into 4 interest free.
Right.
Okay? So come on by. Let us sprinkle some sugars on you, honey, and get the sugars experience. Ain't nothing like it.
And get what? Sugarfied?
Get sugarfied.
And spell the website for them too. So
it's www.s as in Sam, UGAZ as in zebra, couture with a K. That's KOUTURE.com.
Yes.
Come on, girl.
I know that's right. Y'all
Where
come
you
on
been?
here. And she has some great pieces.
Thank you.
I shopped here when I went on my solo trip to Florida, and I wore my stuff too. Now it's a little bit smaller than, but you know, we're gonna get back there.
That's
but yes,
okay.
ma'am, I was in Florida wearing my Sugar's Couture. So yes, you guys check her out. Again, you guys, thank you for always supporting Be the Voice podcast. Come back. We'll have more shows just like this. With just like with Tiffany today. So again, thank you so much for always supporting. And if you need information on therapy resources, you can contact us at info@vosasmagazine.com, and that's info@vosasmagazine.com. And again, thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.